What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Hope we had a wonderful week, and hopefully we're out there enjoying some of that summertime weather for many of us, but unfortunately that does also mean that increased chance of afternoon thunderstorms as we're seeing out there for a lot of us here in the southeastern part of the country. And I do see some signs of change on the horizon going into this coming week, so we're definitely going to talk about that in today's video. But we're also going to talk about some continued severe weather we have to worry about over the next 3 days or so, before I think things kind of calm down a little bit for at least a big section of the country, although not for all of us. So that's really going to be the main focus and topic of today's video. Also, I do want to apologize for not having a video out on Friday. I actually recorded the video and I went to upload it, and then I kind of, hit the upload button and forgot about it and left my house to go do some things. And I didn't end up getting around to checking the comments until the next morning, and that's when I realized the video never actually uploaded. So I'm not sure quite why that happened, but I'll definitely make sure today to sit by my laptop long enough to make sure it actually uploads completely and gets posted. So again, sorry about that. Just kind of getting back into the rhythm of things, and unfortunately I guess I'm having a bit of a rough time doing that. But as you can see, we also do have the webcam back today, and I've got my room clean, so hopefully that's a little bit nicer than it would have been on Thursday. I think that is all in terms of announcements and things. Going into this week, I do expect to have a normal schedule, Monday through Friday, then take Saturday off and come back next Sunday, like we've been doing for the past couple of weeks. So I think we're all good, and we can go ahead and start talking about the weather now. And we'll start by looking at radar, and you can tell for some of us it has been a very nice day. For others, not so much, especially out here into the plains where we have a lot of showers and storms, and also up here into the Midwest. Also down here in the sections of the southeast, kind of right here at the foothills of the Appalachian chain, we do have some thunderstorms beginning to develop here, kind of north of the I-85 corridor, anywhere from kind of Asheville all the way down towards Atlanta. And I do expect this to kind of begin to meander off to the south and east as we move through this evening. And same thing for these storms kind of up here into Tennessee right now that we do have some special weather statements on, kind of in the Knoxville area. Again, those will kind of begin to move off to the south and east as we go through this evening. Now looking at some of the severe weather today, again, really right into the St. Louis metro area, down towards Nashville as well, really having the highest chance of severe weather, so we'll watch out for that. And then as we go into tomorrow, pretty small marginal risk here into northern Arkansas and southern Missouri, so nothing off the charts there. And then also going into Tuesday, an area here into the southeast for some places that have been kind of spared from some of the severe weather so far for the past couple of weeks, but anywhere from Nashville down to Atlanta, Columbia, Charlotte, Asheville, Greenville, Spartanburg, even Knoxville, Huntsville, many of those cities in and around that vicinity, under the gun for the chance of some stronger storms going into Tuesday afternoon and evening, so we'll definitely watch out for that as well. All right, so now taking a look at that future radar over the next 60 hours or so here. I've got the NAM pulled up, and as we go into this evening, again, we have some of these storms firing along the Appalachian chain. Again, those will move off to the south and east, and other than that, just this continual area of showers up into the Midwest and showers and storms back down into sections of Texas. And you see, as we move this into this evening, that will continue before eventually going into kind of more towards the overnight hour. We get more of that severe weather threat to develop here into the St. Louis metro, as you can kind of see here by some of these darker shaded colors on your map, indicating some of those heavier precipitation rates, as well as lightning and just kind of strong wind and hail. Also can't rule out a tornado, but really big hail and winds will be kind of the primary threat with these storms as we go through this evening before they kind of fizzle out as well going into the overnight. Now, as we go into tomorrow morning, again, relatively dry for many of us, other than this kind of continuation of some showers and storms back out into the plains. But once we get into tomorrow afternoon, we get that next flare-up of some stronger storms here into those areas of the Ozarks like we were talking about earlier. And other than that, again, also some kind of scattered storms and showers here to the southeast again tomorrow as well, much like today. Now, as we go into tomorrow night, again, some of that kind of fizzles out before we finally get again into Tuesday, and we get that next round of severe weather as kind of this low pressure really, I think, begins to somewhat mature here over sections of Kentucky as that moves towards the Atlantic Ocean, continuing to bring some of these stronger storms with it, and that is why we have that marginal risk kind of in that circled area on your map here that we looked at just a minute or two ago. Now, as we get past Tuesday, the map doesn't go out this far, but I do expect some relief on the way for some of us. Let me go back. I hit the wrong button there. Sorry about that. But again, as we kind of go on beyond kind of that Tuesday severe weather threat, I do think we get some relief. So this is Tuesday afternoon I'm showing you here. We have that low pressure again over Kentucky, bringing some of those stronger storms that we looked at on the map for Tuesday. But you'll notice as this exits off the eastern seaboard, we're going to get some high pressure to dive in behind that, and that will help to bring down those dew points and bring down those chances of afternoon thunderstorms. So again, you can see going into Wednesday, that finally kind of leaves the coast. And this high pressure tries to take over, dive in, and bring in some of those cooler dew points and cooler temperatures as well. Now, we will have to watch for maybe some low pressure to hang around the Gulf here during that time frame. But for much of us in the mid-Atlantic and the Midwest and Northeast, I do expect less of a summer-like pattern going into Thursday and Friday. And you'll notice by this kind of wedge setting up here into the mid-Atlantic, helping to keep those dew points down going into Thursday afternoon. Now, eventually that will likely fade and we'll get another return of that southerly flow going into this weekend. And this could have more of an actual cold front with it. That has a bit more of a sustained cool down as well as sustained, time of those dew points bringing down. And this could also lead to some severe weather going into this weekend. So we'll have to watch this for certain. Again, you see that low pressure and kind of cold front kind of tracks through the east, and we could get some more defined low pressure to ride up the coast and really bring quite a rainy weekend next weekend before finally we get that high pressure behind it. But of course, that is a little bit of ways out there, so we'll definitely have time to track that. But again, I love to show the dew point map this time of the year. I think it really helps to kind of give a general forecast idea. And you'll notice going through Monday afternoon here, still very high dew points. Going into Tuesday afternoon, still very high dew points here into the southeast. Before finally we get into Wednesday and kind of especially Thursday afternoon. Notice, again, this kind of wedge that sets up shop here into the mid-Atlantic. And this will really help to make it feel much more comfortable into the Northeast and mid-Atlantic. But on the flip side of that coin, that will then help to continue that southerly flow and those very high muggy dew points up through the Great Plains and through the Midwest. Now, as we go further ahead into time, again, I think that wedge kind of breaks down in the mid-Atlantic, and we do get more of a defined cold front going into this coming weekend, but ahead of that, it is going to surge the southerly flow with that muggy air, as well as the chance of some stronger storms with that as well, definitely, with, dew points like this on your map, before eventually behind that potentially going into next weekend, the second half of next weekend, and into the following week, we could really, on a national scale, really bring down these dew points and have much nicer weather in store for many of us. And that is depicted here on the 6 to 10 day outlook. You'll notice a higher probability of below average temperatures and just drier air going into that 6 to 10 day period here from the Climate Prediction Center. And also looking at the precipitation map, again, much drier and nicer up here into these areas that have been experiencing a lot of severe weather recently up here into the Midwest. Although still maybe a slightly higher chance of above average precipitation here along the southern tier of the country as that kind of new pattern kind of begins to set up shop. So again, that's all I've really got for you today. Hopefully, this was informative enough. And again, I do apologize about not having a video out on Friday like I promised to. So again, hopefully this video actually uploads correctly, and I'll definitely make sure that it does. But with all that said, I hope y'all have a great rest of your weekend and hopefully a good start to your work week, and I will see you all tomorrow.